double, double, toil and trouble. Come here into my witch's hut, little girl. Are you ready to do a podcast?
Hey! See, I feel like if you, like, just bribed me with, like, candy or something like that, no. But if you were sitting there and you were like, we can, like, shoot the shit for, like, 45 minutes and, like, I'll, like, make you a cocktail, I'd be like, okay, I'll come into your witch's hut.
Okay, I'll step into your oven. I'll let you push me into your oven. Honestly,
Alright,
all you have to do is keep your house temperature, like, at 60. And I'm like, I'm a little cold. And they're like, you can step into the oven. And I'd be like, thanks, bitch. So true. I'd, like, stick my little feetsies in there just to toast them up for a second. Push me in.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm too stupid. I would absolutely get gobbled by a witch.
Like, also, though, the trail of candy. I'm so curious. I'd be like, who left this trail? Where does it go?
I wonder.
A house made of gingerbread? Come on.
Did you ever, I remember, like, going, I don't know where I was, but, like, I feel like when you were younger, like, I had been on this field trip a handful of times where it was somewhere that would have this ginormous gingerbread house. Like a professionally made, like, gigantic gingerbread house.
Like the size that a person could go into?
No. It was just, like, a beautifully made, like 20 times the size of a normal gingerbread house.
Oh.
But it was, like, a gingerbread house mansion.
I do not know what you're talking about.
I just have, like, it's a very, very specific memory that's, like, lodged, like, right in the back of my brain.
This seems like the only thing
It just feels very New England.
The only thing I can compare this to is that there's this candy store in Maine that has Lenny the Chocolate Mousse, and it's a life-size mousse, which meese are fucking huge. Like, you do not, however big you think a mousse is, double it, triple it. That's how
they're
big
ginormous.
Yeah, and they have like a 2-scale life-size mousse that's made of chocolate.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, like, mousse are ginormous. It's, like, the amount of deaths by moose in, like, Maine are, from what I've heard from an old roommate who used to be from Maine, it's not getting attacked by moose that's an issue. It's hitting them.
With your car.
Hitting them with your car, and then you basically take them out at the legs, and they fall right on top of your fucking windshield. And that's thousands of pounds on top of you.
Yeah.
You're done.
You know those, like, TikToks? I get them a lot of, like, different, it's like simulations of different car brands and models.
Yes, love it.
In car crashes to, like, show you which ones are safe. Subarus always do good.
Yeah.
So I will die on that hill.
How's a RAV4?
Like, I don't, but there's always, like, ones that you would expect to do good, like I don't know, just like the big family cars, right? That will just crumble.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, Toyotas always do kind of shitty.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know.
You're sitting there, you're like, Susie and Tommy are not making it.
But they should do those simulations of, like, moose. They should do, like Toyota versus moose.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
No shot.
That, like, reminds me of, have you ever seen those videos on TikTok where it's, like, 1,000 giant chickens versus 10 million warriors or some shit like that?
No.
And it's a simulation like that. Oh, it's phenomenal. I would highly recommend.
That's like the you know, would you rather question of, like, would you rather fight a duck-sized horse?
Yeah,
or 100
exactly.
horse-sized ducks? No. Yeah.
What would you rather do?
I think the little ones, because I could kick them.
Yeah, the duck-sized horses.
The little horses, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even though they've got more gusto, I feel like a huge duck is scary to me. That's like...
Well, imagine their teeth, because ducks have teeth.
Do they?
I think so. Maybe not ducks. Oh, I'm thinking of geese.
Geese.
Yeah.
No
that
shot.
Would be, yeah.
I would rather fight a horse-sized horse rather than a goose-sized goose. Like, I'd rather fight a horse than a goose. Geese are scary. I
don't know. A horse-sized, like, dude, horses are big. You're not a horse person.
I don't like horses. Yeah. And when I see them in real life, I think, get that away from me.
I think it's like I saw something recently about how much pressure it is or how much force it is when you get kicked in the face by a horse.
That's how pilgrims died. Like,
Yeah.
That was their
Yeah.
that was their like vending machines falling on top of them like version of like you don't think it's gonna happen to you, but like get kicked in the head by a horse, your skull is obliterated.
Yeah. It's like 2,000 pounds of force or some shit like that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, absolutely insane. Imagine, like, it's the whole thing of, like, what is it? It takes 5 pounds of pressure to press your,
to break your nose.
to break your, I guess to break your nose.
But to
like,
press it up into your skull.
Yeah, to press the bone up into your skull. Mm-hmm. Imagine that from a horse kick. Imagine just getting your nose fucking crunched by a horse. You don't have a nose at that point.
Okay, well, now the next time I see a horse, I'm going to be fearing for my life, so thank you for that. I don't know when the next time I'm going to see a horse is, though. Probably not for a good long while.
It's one of those things, like, it probably happens every, like, 10 years kind of thing, but last time I was in contact with a horse, I got thrown off of it, so...
Oh my god.
Yeah, hurt. That shit hurt.
Well, speaking of 2,000 pounds of force, we're coming at you with 2,000 pounds of force straight to your eardrums. Welcome to the swamp. It's our podcast. It's an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And happy Halloween, you hoes.
Welcome to October.
October. No.
Cocktober.
Cocktober.
There you go.
Dude, I will send those chain text
Love
messages to
Love
anyone.
It.
The last one was...
You seem like the kind of person that would make them. Like, you would take the time to think it out.
And to, like, put the emojis in.
Exactly, yeah.
I would. I've sent them to people, and they've been like, oh my god, did you make this? And I'm like, no, are you just not on Twitter? Like, I just copied it from Twitter. Like, of course not. But I feel like the last one I sent around was, like, about, like, Mitch McConnell, like, stroking out. And it was like, hey, all you cock-stroking hoes. It's not okay.
Brilliant.
But we're gonna just do campy, fun Halloween movies. We're just doing Halloween shit this month.
Yeah, we're keeping it simple.
Yeah, in the past we've specified, like, what flavor of Halloween we're doing. I think we're just fucking rocking just shit that...
Something campy.
Yeah.
As the black cat walks behind me.
Watching this movie, so we're covering Hocus Pocus this week, watching this movie with 2 black cats in your immediate premises...
Oh, I know, that was like,
pretty
really
fire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the, like, lore behind why black cats are supposedly, like, you know, bad luck or spooky or
I don't
whatever.
understand, because they're pretty.
I don't know if it's, like, the Halloweenification of them, or that people just find, like, solid color black cats to be, like, whatever, like, less aesthetically pleasing. But the adoption rate for black cats is so significantly lower than other kinds of cats that they literally gave my 2 cats to me for, like, $10.
That's crazy.
Because they were like, nobody else is gonna take them. They also, granted, were very shy and came from, like, not a great, like, previous home life, so they were, like, very skittish. And the shelter was like, oh yeah, like, they're not friendly. People are not going to adopt them. So I was like, two cats for $15, bro. Fucking
What a
score.
You got that BOGO deal.
But I just don't get it, because I think black cats are gorgeous.
They're pretty.
And like, just
the mysterious, like, the mystique.
And just as, like, cute or friendly as... I don't really get why people, like, put the stereotypes of, like, oh my god, orange cats are fucking crazy. All orange cats are so nuts.
I don't care.
I don't think that... I just think the orange cat that you know is probably...
I think it's just a cat is a cat.
Yeah, I don't know. I could understand maybe why different, like, breeds of cats have different temperaments, but just, like, color-wise... I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess that is a different breed. You know what I mean? Like, I think coloring is very much, like, the thing with cats. But I'm not a cat person. I think like, my family had a cat when I was, like, 4. And
what was its name?
So we called him Bobo.
Bobo.
Because my mom adopted him from a friend that couldn't have him anymore, and his name was originally Beauregard.
Beauregard.
Yeah. So...
Bobo.
Yeah. He was a big fluffy black and white cat. Hated us. Hated the kids.
Oh no.
I could not tell you when he died. I have no recollection.
Rip. He's still alive to this day. He just left. He just packed up his bags and he fucking left.
He reminds me of that cat that, like, it's like that meme, like, on my way to, like, do something gay or whatever, or it's some shit like that. But it's like, it's a cat with a briefcase and, like, an umbrella. Yeah.
But the cat in this movie is voiced by a teen boy, and I did not
Didn't
fuck
like
with
that.
that shit.
Well, especially you're a big fan of the black cat from Coraline.
Yeah.
Which is like an old man's raspy voice. So this is the inverse of that.
Keith David, yeah.
This is a young prepubescent boy.
It just didn't sit right with me, especially with the implication that he, like, was immortal. I'm like, which I guess we see his force ghost at the end. So we do see that he has maintained his teen boy visage, but I'm like, you've been alive forever. Can you please, like, hit that second wave of puberty?
Well, just imagine having to be that horny for the rest of your life.
As a cat?
As a cat.
An unfixed cat?
Horrific.
Do you think somebody took him in and got him fixed? They were like, as like part of a charity thing, but then they like let him back out onto the street just to like, you know, for population control.
That sounds like the kind of thing that's like. So if he didn't get fixed and he's just going around fucking, that's like that's the same thing as like Edward and Bella in Twilight. You're just making an immortal cat baby.
He's 800. Oh my god, the Renesmee baby.
The Renesmee cat.
Of cats. Because there's always like the people whose house cats just get pregnant out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it's because he came around. But they're like, oh my god, like she's pregnant, but it's like, it's been 2 days. Now she's giving birth.
What's going on?
Why does this baby look like a puppet? The cat gives birth, and it's claymation. It's the cat from Coraline, and it's a claymation cat.
It's got a CGI face on it.
And then it just ages to full cat, and it just bounds away. Oh my god.
But as much credit as we're giving this cat, he's not that integral to the plot.
But I have a confession to make.
Yeah, please.
I've never seen this movie.
That's crazy.
I had maybe, like, caught glimpses of it when it was, like, on, you know, like, the 31 Nights of Halloween on ABC Family,
of course.
Like, growing up or whatever. Like, I understood the general, like, I knew the three witches. I knew, like, Bette Midler and her fake teeth. Like, I got the gist of it, but I think I never happened to see it, and then I, like, specifically avoided it because I think there's, like, a certain brand of millennial, which... I love a millennial. Sometimes the people I find I can relate the best to are like millennials who are in the like 7 to 12 years, my senior age bracket, you know what I mean? But I just remember specifically I was in high school and I was at my first job and I had this coworker who was like, you know, maybe 10 years older than me, and she had like made a reference to this movie or whatever, and I was like, oh, I've never seen it. It came out in 1993, bro. Like, I understand it's like a staple and a classic, but it's like the way people are like, oh my god, you've never seen Fight Club? It's like that kind of film bro
That's
version.
the year I was born.
It's like the David Fincher film bro version of like white millennial women who like she act like I had shot her in the chest when I had told her I had never seen this. And I'm like, dude, I was like 14. I was like, I'm 14, I don't know. But so then I felt specifically like people who were really into this movie would act like so personally offended. And I was like, you know what? Now I'm never gonna watch it.
Yeah, you are very much one of those people which when they tell you to watch something, if it's to a point of like being too popular or too forced on you, you won't do it.
I'm not gonna do it then.
Yeah.
I'd rather make you upset than like adhere to your like cultural references, which I love to watch something in order to participate in cultural discourse. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to watch something popular and bad just to talk about it. But I just find like on an interpersonal level, like I guess I am also a perpetrator of like if somebody hasn't seen something I really like, I'll be like, but it's more like, oh, like, you should watch it because I like it so much. Not like, you stupid, dumb baby. You've never seen Hocus Pocus. Like, oh my god.
So, okay, if that's the case, then can you give me your brief thoughts then?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was basically what I had sort of anticipated it to be, which was just like a very campy, silly, fun, very ABC Family on every night of October kind of movie. I already knew the vibes of the three witches. We've got Bette Midler, what's her, Najimy, what's her first name?
Oh, God, I have no idea.
Sarah Jessica Parker,
yeah, of course.
being like horny, also
Dude,
for
she's
teen boys.
so horny the entire time.
Kathy Najimy, who's like notable character actress.
Yes.
So I kind of got that they were gonna be like kind of ditzy and hokey pokey and like, oh, we're witches. And I didn't know about like the idiosyncrasies of the plot, which honestly you don't have to.
You don't.
It's just that they are in like the Salem witch trial times and they basically get hung, but because of a spell, they get to come back to life if somebody lights this. If a virgin.
They make that very clear.
Most virgin references per minute of any movie ever made, ever.
Which also, this boy is 14 years old. What do you expect?
He's getting the shit bullied out of him. Everyone's like, haha, you fucking no pussy getting ass loser, virgin. He's a freshman in high school. Cut him a fucking break. His little sister.
Yeah, is literally like...
I'm like, she does not even know what that means. Like, she thinks that means it's somebody from Virginia. Like, come on. Like,
she's 8.
But just, that part shocked me, of how much they continuously were like, you fucking virgin, you lit the candle, you virgin. Like, it wasn't even, like, one mention, which I get that that's, like, sort of the joke, is, like, virgin needs for the sacrifice or whatever, which I think technically, I might be wrong about this, but I feel like I read somewhere that when, in, like, old-timey books and stuff, when they said, like, virgin blood or whatever, it just meant somebody who has never been participated in like a sacrifice before. Yeah. So it doesn't actually mean anything about pussy. Yeah. Like it just that's not on the table.
And like you guys just made it really weird. It was never about that. You guys just decided to make it like that.
Also, virginity is a social construct. So where do we draw the line? You know? Come on, 1993, get woke. But
can born again virgins be virgin sacrifices?
Oh my god, there was this guy who was a participant on one of the seasons of The Bachelor.
Oh my god.
Or like The Bachelorette, so it was like one girl and a bunch of guys, and his whole thing was that he was like a born again virgin, and he was like mad that she was like gonna go into the fantasy suite and like have sex with the other contestants, and he like was like, I'm a born again virgin, so you also need to be a born again virgin if we're gonna get married on this TV show. And she was like, he like was mad that she had like had sex with somebody in a windmill. It was a whole thing.
Oh my god.
That was,
men are fucking delusional.
One of the things, that's a cultural thing I'll participate in just because I love like the Twitter discourse. Is The Bachelorette. Yeah. But Hocus Pocus, I thought it was silly and funny. It was one of those things that I did feel like I could have just continued to view it from afar, and still had the same experience with it. But it was cute. It was funny. Yeah. It definitely put me in the Halloween mood to watch this on like the the precipice of fall was felt like ritualistic. But yeah, and you said you had watched this, you've seen it before, but like it's been a minute.
It had been ages. Like I don't remember watching this. I know I watched it like when I was young just because like, I can remember certain details of it, but I probably hadn't seen this in like 10 plus years and I had forgotten like 90% of it. I really enjoyed it.
The plot is...
It's Kenny Ortega's best.
Oh my god, Kenny... When I see his name... on the opening credits, I know I'm here for a good time. Whether he is the director or the choreographer, I just know this movie's gonna serve me some cunt.
Oh, 100%.
I wish he would he does a lot of like Disney Channel stuff still. Yeah. Like he was really involved in that show like The Descendants.
Which I didn't care.
We had a far aged out of Disney stuff, Disney properties at that time, but he still does a lot of Disney, but I just wish he would do more like major, like I wish he was in charge of choreographing like the fucking Wicked movie or something, you know? Like I know that's probably not the vibe for that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're doing all these, like, musicals turned movies.
Yeah.
Kenny Ortega should have directed Dear Evan Hansen. I'll say it.
Shut up. Oh, you're so right.
Maybe not that, but...
Well, I think he wouldn't have cast Ben Platt.
No.
So.
I want Kenny Ortega to stay booked and busy.
Yeah, of course.
Love.
But it had his name written all over it, and I loved that.
Yeah, for sure. And the musical scene, like, they did not need to serve that hard.
So hard.
So good.
Like, that's the thing. That's how you know it's Kenny Ortega.
Yes.
It didn't need to be there. There was no reason for it to be there.
And yet it was the pinnacle of the film.
Oh, I was on my feet. I was shaking ass.
I was in the spell of perpetual dance.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad.
Was it Chromiomania?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fully...
Choreomania.
Yeah, I was fully enthralled. Dance till you drop, bitch.
Yeah. I would love to be at that Halloween party. That seemed like a good Halloween party.
Why is that a thing that I am just not convinced exists outside of film? Is like adults only Halloween parties where everyone is fully to the nines committed to dressing up.
I don't know if I'd say it was just happens in film. I'd say just happened in the 90s.
But like also like live band. Live skeleton band.
That was That was Phoebe Bridgers.
Where can I get an invite?
Yeah.
I want to go to something like this.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing. Would you prefer that one or Allison's party? Her family party, which everyone was dressed up as like old-timey Puritans.
In theory, I think I want the dance party more, but then I would get there and I'd be like, I don't actually like to dance. Yeah. So I'm like, And
then you'd want to put on a powdered wig.
And then I'd want to go kick it at the old-timey party where I could, like, just sit down and, like, sip a cocktail and be like, you know?
Exactly.
Like, that's where I really belong.
Yeah.
I know, I'm here, like...
And, like, the really cunt dress.
I'm like, why don't people have Halloween? They probably do. I just don't leave my house. Like...
But
I always, like, will dress up, like, to an extreme extent, even though I am not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just, like, to be in my house.
Oh, yeah. Like, 100%.
I fully will buy a bowl of candy, even though I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building and my back door is facing the woods. Like, nary a soul knows that I live here, let alone children.
No
But I'm here with, like, my pumpkin-shaped Reese's, being like, I'm totally not gonna eat all these right now.
No, never. Not I.
What's your favorite, or as a kid, what was your favorite, like, the candy that you got that you, like, were like, this is the S tier? Like, I'm not trading this. I will save them.
I was always a big Milk Duds person. I loved those. I think it's just something about, like, chewy candy. I really like Laffy Taffy.
See, and that was my, like, bottom of the barrel. Like, I will trade that away for nothing. Especially the banana. Ugh.
Love it.
Banana Laffy Taffy.
I like the green one. I like the green apple one.
Green apple.
But I'd say, probably something like that. Were you a Reese's girl?
Oh, yeah. The most standard bag that came with, like, the Kit Kat, the Twix, the Reese's, and the Snickers, or whatever. Any of those were, for sure. I love a Butterfinger.
Yeah. Oh, I do like a Butterfinger. Yeah, Butterfinger's good. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been, like, a real big chocolate person.
As we know. Yeah. As we know every week from this podcast. What I found offensive, Whoppers.
They're like,
What are they, like, any malted milk ball?
I don't hate them.
Get that away from me.
I don't hate it. It's not for me, though.
Also, I love a Tootsie Pop.
Love a Tootsie Pop. I always really liked, Nerds, the tiny little box of Nerds,
and you can shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just gravel in your mouth.
So you were definitely here for, like, the Wonka adjacent candy properties. The
probably, but, like, I didn't
Nerds.
fuck with, like, you always got the fucking what are they, the little balls, the gobstoppers. Stupid.
Fuck whatever.
Fuck that.
Like a jawbreaker.
Yeah, hard candies like that.
Definitely not.
Well, you lived in a neighborhood where they gave out, like, full-size candy bars. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And I really liked being the age where I aged out of, like, trick-or-treating, but I got to hand out the candy.
Yeah, and seeing the face light up on a child get a full-size candy bar.
I really liked, like, you still get to dress up.
Yeah.
And I liked, like, participating in the, like, decorative thing of the house. But then I'm like, I just get to sit here and eat as many full-sized candy bars as my heart desires, which is way better than luck of the draw, whatever you get house to house. Like, I think I was, like, 13, and I was like, I'm ready to stay home.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hand out candy bars.
I don't need to walk around the town. Let me sit in a costume instead. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely my, like, born to be 80 side coming out.
Yeah.
And then, did you ever have a costume growing up that, like, stands out as, like, your best work?
I wouldn't say growing up. I did Beetlejuice a handful of years ago. I was probably, like, a sophomore in college, and that one, it was like a how should I put it? Like mask Beetlejuice, I guess.
Yeah. Your makeup looked good too.
Yeah. But like, not really as a kid. I was just from the jump, like the gayest kid on earth. Like, I remember preschool, all the little girls were dressed up as princesses.
You were Star Wars.
Well, no, I was the prince.
Yeah. You're like
how did no one know?
Yeah.
How did I not know? But I liked, I had a ninja costume that I really liked as a kid. Because I had 2 swords on my back.
I was also a ninja one year, but I was, like, a girl ninja. Like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I very specifically was like, if you put me in a pink ninja outfit, I will have a fit. What about you?
I definitely have talked about this on this podcast before.
The purple people eater?
Well, how I was, like, super anal to the point of, like, I should have been getting diagnosed with something as a child because of how anal I was about my Halloween costume, how I had to be something that nobody else was being, how my costume could not be from a store. It had to be, like, perfect. Like, definitely that was, like, a concerning level of Halloween commitment for, like, a 6-year-old. Like, I remember being in the same costume as somebody else at a Girl Scout thing, and I, like, turned to my mom and I'm like, we have to leave. I'm like,
Did you leave?
Yeah, like, I threw a fit. I was like, we can't be here. Like, somebody's dressed as the same thing as me. And she was like, girl, you're a hippie. Like, of course somebody else is gonna be a hippie. Like, you didn't make that up. But one year I was the one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater.
That's gas.
Which definitely nobody else was stepping to my level.
No.
On that.
I need Jen to, like, dig out the photos from that.
And then one year I was Barack Obama. Which is, like, a little bit concerning.
Did you have the mask?
It was like a rubber mask.
Okay.
Yeah, which still
great.
In this year of 2024, I would not condone. 2024, I just said it's 2024.
It's basically 2024.
Basically, yeah, I would not condone that today, but it was the election year.
Yeah, okay.
So it was like 2008. So I thought that was really silly of me.
You were 9
I was 9. Yeah, I was 9 years old and I was Obama for Halloween.
That's hilarious, actually.
Because I'm like, no other 3rd grader would even think to be this clever.
No other 3rd grader had any idea there was an election going on.
But I feel like if you have a group of 3, to be these 3 witches is definitely cunty. But I would definitely, like, you know, you need to have certain people who know what lane they're in, because, like, obviously only one person gets to be slutty. And that's Sarah Jessica Parker. And then one person obviously gets to be the main character, and that's Bette Midler. And then the other person just gets to be Kathy Najimy. Like,
which is also valid.
Yeah.
I would want to be Kathy Najimy.
True. I'll accept my spot as the 3rd place witch.
Like, you could go, like, the funny, like, spin you could do on that is instead of being, like, I smell, like, children, just be like, I smell booze, and then that's how you get someone to buy you a drink.
Oh, so true.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Add a bit to it.
Exactly. Which just makes you better.
Which her character, I wouldn't say, is, like, any less important than the other ones. It's just, like, her
She's the
outfit.
one that can actually smell the kids, which is so important. What does Sarah Jessica Parker do? Sing. She sings a little song.
She's
she gets
slut.
Yeah, and she's Dude, the porn voice that she has on for this entire thing.
Not chill. And the way where she's like teen boys. I was like, you need to back off on that as JP. Like, I was watching this with Henry and he goes, is that Madonna? And I was like, no.
No, that's not Madonna.
Oh, hey, Jen. So nice of you to stop by to host your interim podcast segment, Chocolate or Vanilla. You say two things. We're all going to say which one we like better. How are you today?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm not too shabby.
Pretty solid.
Nice, nice.
Is there a theme this week?
Is off the dome. No theme.
Off the dome. Okay, we love it.
Oh, you've been bringing these around more often. I like it, Jen.
I know you like them. I do it for you, All right, you ready?
Yes.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Friendlies or Dairy Queen?
Ooh, Friendlies is like a regional thing, I think, for like New England that's like dying. And you always know the architecture of an abandoned Friendlies when you see one, like a Friendlies that has been turned into a bank. No, that's the ghost of a Friendlies in that Citizens Bank. For some reason, they put the chicken tenders on a stick and then they put them in a basket like a bouquet. And I just think that's beautiful.
So you're saying Friendlies?
Yes, yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Dairy Queen. As much as Friendlies has a real place in my heart, as I think it originated in Western Mass. So, as a Western Mass native, I'm gonna venture off the beaten path, and I'm gonna say Dairy Queen because the food is on par with Friendlies. It's cheaper, and I think their ice cream is. I mean, you get a freaking what's it called? A Blizzard. Mm-hmm. Yes. What's your favorite?
What's your go-to?
Ooh, mine's fucked up. You're gonna hate it.
Ooh, really? Is it mint?
I like the cotton candy one.
Oh, that is fucked up.
It's because they have, like, it's not Pop Rocks, but they have, like, these little, like, candy bits in it, and it feels like you're eating gravel, and I really like that.
I can get behind that, but if you're ordering something cotton candy flavored over the age of 8, you should be required to wear one of those little pinwheel hats, so everyone knows that you're a little baby.
That's fair. I'm not a chocolate guy, and all of the other ones are, like, so chocolate-based.
That's true.
What's your go-to Blizzard, Dar?
Oh, I like
Kit Kat,
Butterfinger.
right?
That was
I like blended up Butterfingers because
Yeah.
I like the way Butterfingers fill out your molars.
Do you like digging it out afterwards?
Mm-hmm. Spelunking in my own cavities.
I like vanilla ice cream with M&M Blizzard.
Yeah, Jen always gets M&Ms, which I feel like the M&Ms get too cold.
They get really hard. They get
Yeah.
super hard.
Do you have to, like, suck on them a little bit to, like, warm it up, or do you just want to break your teeth?
You just hope that it's not cracking your teeth. Exactly. But I will, oh gosh, I guess this is a hard serve versus soft serve question. So it depends like on what kind of mood you're in, but I love Dairy Queen. I would never say no to Dairy Queen.
It's tough because like the closest Dairy Queen to us is like, it's like a 25-30 minute drive, and
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right, next one, stretching or strengthening?
Stretching. I don't fuck with strengthening. I don't ever want to lift a weight. Ew.
I'm gonna go for strengthening because it's what I like personally need right now because my back is really fucked up lately.
I'll go, I love both stretching and strengthening. So I'm going
Jen,
to go with
stretching is
strengthening
your
also.
profession. Well, I guess both are your profession.
It's a 2-in-1.
So I'm so lame though at the gym when I'm using the machines. After I'm done, I flip the little pin so that no one can see how little weight I lifted.
It's only lame if you put it on a higher one and you're like, yeah, I just
do that.
bench
I
press.
should like flip the bottom one. Yeah. Next one, peppers or onions?
Ooh, onions. I want onions on every meal. I want onions in my Blizzard. That's what I want.
I'm definitely an onion person. Like, you know how they have like a veggie platter? Like, I think that they should put like big onion slivers in it, and I just eat that.
Like onions? You're gonna dip your onions in the veggie dip?
I recently Henry made me French onion soup and we had a ton left over. But French onion soup leftover is kind of sad to eat because if you're not going to do the whole like put it in a crock with the melted cheese and the bread thing, you're just eating like wet onion slop. Like it's kind of a sad thing to eat leftover, and I've been wrapping that for a few days and I'm like, let me just get my just straight up caramelized onions just with a spoon. That's a meal. Right?
Yeah. It's like because you go and you have the Gruyere, but it's always the tiniest block, so you use it all up in the first go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, I guess I'll use the part skim, low moisture mozzarella that I have in the fridge.
It doesn't even melt. I will go with onions also because they make everything better, but I do love anything with like tri-colored peppers, like all 3 colors in a dish. It's good stuff. Next one. The Starbucks pumpkin spice latte or a Shipyard pumpkin ale with cinnamon sugar rim.
Oh. I don't like beer. I like a pumpkin beer as far as beers go because they will sometimes put the little sugar on the rim and I think that's really cute. But that's just because I want to lick pumpkin pie spice off the rim of a glass, not because I want beer. So I'll pick a pumpkin spice latte because I rock with it.
Yeah. I agree with you there about the sugar rim, because I don't really give a shit about the beer. We were, like, out at a restaurant the other day, and Alyssa got a pumpkin beer, and I looked at her, and I was like, can I lick your sugar rim? And
Did she let you?
I got my taste, yeah. But, yeah, I'm also gonna say that a pumpkin spice latte is more my style.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the pumpkin ale because I do love a sugared rim. I have never shared my sugared rim with anybody.
It looked at me.
Okay, next one. Water slide or diving board?
Water slide. I like when the water slide is a little, like, not constructed well and there's, like, the ridges that, like...
Before it peels off your back.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I wanted to take off my top level of dermis.
I'm gonna go water slide just because I was never a good diver and I always got nervous about the way that I was gonna dive and I was just gonna like break my like neck or something. So I'll go for the water slide.
Yeah, I'll go water slide too. One time we went to the water park in Maine and the water slide was the type where you were standing there and the floor just bottomed out underneath you.
Oh, yeah.
Next one is Niall Horan or Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, my Harry Styles kind of girly.
Yeah, me too. Sweet. Next one is bagel or donut?
Oh, a bagel. It's like a savory sweet question. I love a bagel with cream cheese and everything bagel with plain cream cheese. I would eat it for every meal of the day if I could. And I want my bagel to cream cheese ratio to be 1-to-1. I want the
That's a lot of cream cheese.
I want the layer of cream cheese to be as thick as the bagel. Mm-hmm. It's fucked up of me, I know, but it's my truth.
As much as I'm usually on the savory kind of wave, I've been really having like a moment for a donut. So I'm gonna go with a donut, especially like right now, like the oh my god, what is it?
Apple cider.
The apple cider donuts. Oh
yeah, so good. I will go bagel too. I don't think there's many bagel cream cheese combinations that I don't like, aside from I don't like raisins, so no cinnamon raisin.
Yeah.
Mini cupcakes, mini muffins.
Mini cupcakes. I feel like mini muffins, I think of those things called little bites. Yeah. And I always associate that with like bad food texture. Like those muffins and they would like leave the film in your mouth and that would and like on your way to school eating the little bites, that's like a sad memory.
The little bites are like it's like, you know how you're not supposed to like chew caviar, you like push it to the roof of your mouth and like,
just let it disappear.
Yeah, that's how you eat little bites. I'm gonna go mini cupcakes though, because I think the ratio of frosting to cake is like perfect on a mini one.
Nice. I'm gonna go mini cupcakes too. Salt or pepper?
Salt.
Yeah, I'm a sodium girl.
Yeah, me too. Salt and onions make everything better.
Yeah, it's like I like both, but it's like if I had to live without one, like
yeah,
I could live without pepper. It would suck, but like I could do it. Could not live without salt.
Yeah.
I always feel like when I'm putting pepper on my food, I'm like, look, everyone, I'm not using salt. Like, you know, I'm so good. Like, next one is 2 movies out right now. Equalizer 3 or My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
Equalizer 3.
Denzel.
No, I haven't even heard of that. I just know I saw the Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 trailer the past couple of times I went to the movie. And I go to the movies a lot with my friend Kevin, who likes to, like, he doesn't talk during the movie. He's not one of those, but he will talk during the commercials because he's like, nobody gives a shit. And so he just said out loud, who asked for that? And I just really felt like that summarized everyone who was there to see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. That's probably how we all felt about My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. But I guess I'll pick that one because...
I think I'm gonna go for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 just because I think the first movie is pretty decent for like a rom-com, so.
Yeah, I will agree with you guys. Last one. Nachos or French fries?
French fries.
Yeah, French fries, easy.
Ooh, nachos every time.
I want nacho
is
toppings on my French fries.
Yeah, exactly. That is it for chocolate or vanilla this week.
Love it. Thank you so much, Jen. And as always, we love you and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I love you guys. Have an awesome night.
Bye. I mean, it's a little far into the episode, but should we give like a recap of what this movie is?
Yeah, I guess so. It's just that they're old-timey witches who have a spell put on them so that they get hung, but then they get to come back to life if a virgin lights this specific candle. And then we fast forward to the present day, 1993, where this boy whose family has just moved from California to Salem, Massachusetts, and he's all a California boy, and he doesn't like that everyone here is so balls to the wall excited for Halloween. And they learn about, like, the lore of these 3 witches in their class in high school, and he makes a big point to be like, Halloween was invented by candy corporations, and I hate fun. And everyone is like, boo! And then he, like, gives his phone number on a torn-out piece of notebook paper to this girl, which is just, like, the most accurate high school thing I've ever seen. Like in the very top margin was his name and his phone number, but it's, like, an entire piece of, like, college-ruled notebook paper. Like, so funny. I don't know why that, like, got me so hard. But basically this girl is, like, you know, she's a Salem native and she's really about Halloween.
Yeah.
And so the two of them sort of, like, have this little romantic entanglement where she, like, wants to convince him that Halloween is fun and he just, like, wants to get pussy. So he's, like, fine.
Literally. Dude, he is head over heels just for some puss.
I guess. And then he, like, gets bullied by these 2 kids who, like, steal his shoes. And then he has to take his sister out trick-or-treating, and they encounter them again, and, like, he, like, gets bullied again or whatever. But then they end up at that girl's house, and she's like, oh, my mom used to run a museum, like, at the witch's old house, so we should go. And they go, and he lights the candle, and because he's never fucked, then the 3 witches come back to life. And then the whole movie is just sort of the hijinks of, like, the witches wanting to sacrifice another child so that they can stay young forever, and, like, using their magic to like corral children so that they can do this spell. And then the 3 kids who know are, like, trying to stop them. And they sort of just run around town. They end up at different places. They end up at the high school. They end up at the party that their parents are at. You know, they go to all the places. And then also there's the cat who is the teen boy.
Yeah, he's, like, trying to help him.
Whose younger sister got sacrificed in the first place to make them young. Thackeray Banks. Thackeray Banks is, like, a name I feel that you, like, will make up on the spot if you're, like, doing a silly voice.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm so fancy, I'm Thackeray Banks. Like that would never come out of any other scenario than somebody, like, doing a silly voice, I feel. Yeah. Thackeray. Are we gonna see Thackeray on, like, the top 100 baby names for, like, 2027?
Give it 15 years.
Thackeray. These are my sons, Braxton and Thackeray.
Yeah. You can just call him Thatch.
Thatch?
Yeah.
No, but I feel like Thatch. What is Thatch short for?
I don't know.
The name Thatch? Because that's a legit name. Thackeray is just Zachary if you have a list. But Thackeray.
I don't know, Thaddeus? Is that what that...
Thatch, Thaddeus. We knew somebody in high school whose name was Thaddeus, but he went by Tucker.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Well, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go by Thaddeus either.
Yeah. Thad. Unless you weigh 250 pounds of pure muscle, your name cannot be Thad. I'm sorry, like, unless you are Thad, like, you cannot be Thad. And what else do you do with Thaddeus? Like, Dias?
No. Just Thad.
Thad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess Tucker was a creative spin on that. I think Tucker was his middle name, actually.
Yeah, that would make
Tucker,
sense.
but I think people just assumed, like, that Tucker was a creative take on Thaddeus.
Yeah, no. Just grasping at straws there.
But then what? They basically a zombie comes into play at some point, an unearthed zombie who like is against them, but then they cut his mouth that's sewn shut open, and it turns out he wants to help them, so he helps them, and they stop the witches. What am I missing? Like
that's it. That's the movie.
Yeah, they stop the witches. He gets the girl. Everyone is fine, and then the cat, who has been immortal for centuries, his force ghost leaves him, and he
finally gets to die.
He and his younger sister get to, like, walk through the gates of heaven, which is, like, kind of weird. Yeah, he finally gets to fucking die. I want the, like, spin-off movie about, like, a teen boy who's an immortal black cat and, like, the true, like, pain and suffering of, like, you know, like, either, like, living at homes and, like, outliving your family, or, like, you know, not, you know, being immortal. It sounds awful.
Yeah.
Just
horrible.
The grind never stops.
I have to do this again every day.
I guess being a house cat, though, like, if I was gonna have to be immortal, being a house cat seems
not bad.
I'd rather be a cat than a person.
Yeah. But. Yeah, agreed. But have you ever been to, like, Salem during, Halloween time?
Not like on Halloween, not for any, like, Halloween specific
No, but, like, in
event.
October?
But, like, in the fall, for sure. We live about, like, I'd say, like,
hour 30.
Yeah, like 2 hours, hour 30 from Salem. And it's, like, a cute town to visit. It definitely is a little, like, hokey as far as, like, every store has Halloween stuff year-round and witch stuff year-round. And they're, like, very much, like, we're gonna do the whole witch trial thing. Like, there's, like, guided tours and museums and the whole thing of, like, haunted witch tour or whatever, which the actual Salem witch trials, only 20 people died.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get that
it was brutal.
I get that it was, like, an important time in history, but the way, like, people fully had me believing until I was, like, in college that the Salem witch trials had executed every woman under the age of 30. Yeah. Like, it lasted less than a year and only 20 people died. Like, I was like, no, like, if you were a woman who breathed wrong, they fucking got you. Like, no, not quite.
Yeah. I was just there, though, and, like, if you ever do go to Salem, if you're not from Massachusetts or anything, don't go during October. You go, like, 2 weeks beforehand. It's September, so, like, the weather's just starting to cool down, because once it hits October, those streets are jam-packed. It's insane.
I get that, like, Halloween is, like, a fun thing, but, like, for every fucking day of the whole month, for it to be that, like, going that hard.
It's wild, yeah.
Take a fucking breather, bro.
Yeah. We did, however, when we were there, which is funny, I was with people who love this movie, so we went and we saw Allison's house.
Is that real?
Yes, it's real.
Oh,
yeah,
they filmed it?
They filmed it in Salem, yes.
Wow, I do believe that, because I was thinking, I was like, this does look very new. I was like, wherever they picked in California to film this, they got a good New England vibe. They really captured a good New England vibe from this.
They truly went to Salem. They filmed, the dance was in the Old Town Hall.
I like that.
Thing. Yeah, we saw Allison's house, and then we also saw, what's his name, Max? Is it
Sure.
Max? I don't know.
Virgin.
Yeah, we saw the Virgin's house, which, slay. That house, gorgeous. I don't know if you, like in the movie, like, I love that he had, like, the sort of, the loft. Mm-hmm. That's my dream.
You went inside?
No. Someone lives there. No, someone lives there. They have, like, tons of, like, no trespassing signs.
My God. They should rent it out like an Airbnb, the way, like, the Cullens house is an Airbnb.
Oh my God, yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's, like, so expensive.
Yeah, they would make fucking bank.
Well, they clearly are already so rich because they can afford a full-ass nice colonial house in Salem, Mass.
It's right on the water.
Of course.
It's right on the water. It is you know how bitches like love to find like seashells at the beach or whatever and sea glass.
You like a nice house.
Yeah. Well, it's always like, no, like just the beach they're next to is like the most sea glass I've ever seen in my life. It was so fucking strange. I was like, do people just throw all their fucking empty beer cans down here? Or beer bottles? What's going on?
The rich people are like, for the tourists.
Literally. But yeah, no, my dream is to like have a house with a loft in it so I can have my little nook. I just want a nook.
Keep dreaming, bitch.
I know.
Keep dreaming.
Me and every other lady.
Yeah. You and every other bitch who's ever seen this film. You and every other white millennial woman.
Max is one of the dumbest fucks I've ever seen in my life. Like, this boy is continually an idiot through this entire movie.
Yeah, I never find him sympathetic, and I also found that child actor to be pretty annoying and, like, bad. Yeah. So, like...
Which, mind you, his younger sister, Danny,
slays.
She ate it up.
I was trying to see what else she's been in, which I didn't really recognize much from it, but I did see that she won some sort of, like, award for, like, Best Rising Star under the age of 9. Not for this movie, but for some, like, I think a stage production or something. Brilliant. And I was like, yeah, that checks to me.
Yeah.
She definitely was serving. She was pulling a lot of the weight of the group. Because the other teen girl, her whole thing was that she just had to be kind of, like, hot and mysteriously intriguing, and also like she was sort of like she was like the intel of the town, you know, because she had lived there, so that was like she served her purpose. But the younger sister, I definitely fucking despise a precocious child character, which she definitely was edging on that at times for me. I'm like, you 8-year-olds don't fucking talk like that. Shut the fuck up. But her performance definitely swayed me to not hate her.
Yeah. I got down with her. Sarah Jessica Parker just kept throwing me for a loop the entire time. When she sat on the bus driver's lap and they were like fucking, essentially. That's the thing, is like, this is a family movie, but this is one of the horniest family movies I've ever seen in my life.
And I feel like I'm not here for, you know, being like, we need to make everything, you know, family appropriate and like censorship and stuff like that. But I'm like, I truly, if I was watching this with a group of children and they were like, what does virgin mean? I would fully feel the need to explain to them something because of how often it's brought up. I'd be like,
all the time.
Like, you are valid for asking that because it is just, they're hammering that home.
Yeah, exactly.
And her titties in that outfit, especially in the scene when they're on the brooms and we get the sort of like POV of her hunched over on the broom, like we are edging on seeing some areola. Like I was like, do I have to pause? Like, do I have to pause this film for a second? Like, Jesus. I wish I could wear a corset and have my boobs look like that. Like, oh my God, pressed up fully to my chin. Just rest them there.
See, I just don't think I could, like, hang with, in a corset. Like, I couldn't breathe.
I already have trouble breathing. Just baseline. I don't think if my shit was all squeezed, maybe it would actually, like, shift everything to where it's supposed to be. Yeah.
The binder is the modern-day corset these days.
Oh, my God. So true. I've tried on a friend's binder, and surprisingly, just been like, wow, it really can eliminate a good amount of tata. Like, it really can just bind that shit, like...
Could you still breathe, like, as well as you, like, normally could?
Like, obviously it feels like pressure, like squished, but the fact that you look down and it's flat is kind of like, well, yeah, I get it. I get why somebody would want to wear this.
Yeah, absolutely.
The phrase for boobs that they use in this movie is yabos.
Hated it.
That is like...
That really bothered me.
That's the only note I have on my entire page. It's just yabos, question mark. I'm going to start a binder brand. It's a binder / corset, so it's like whether you want to enhance or eliminate, and it's called like yabos or yabnos, and it's you know, whether you want to eliminate or enhance, and it's Halloween themed. It's witch themed, so you can only get them in like
black and like
yeah, and like with like little ugly pumpkins on them or something.
Like spider webs.
Yeah. It will show through a white t-shirt.
Yeah. My trans men would eat that up though.
Yeah, no. And it's, if you don't get the reference, it's a bad name. It's a bad brand name.
It's terrible, actually. Oh my god. I love it. Like, besides throwing a random musical scene in there, right after being introduced to Max, you're informed that he's a crazy BMX rider. Because there's, like, this, like, 3-minute scene of him just biking through the town and then through the woods and through the graveyard. He's, like, you would see this run on, like, Red Bull's TikTok page.
He's sponsored. Yeah, he is sponsored. He also, like, I feel like they really could not settle on, like, a solid archetype for him other than they're like, oh, he's the cool California kid. Because he's,
you know that because he's wearing tie-dye.
He's wearing tie-dye and he rides BMX, but also, like, midway through an argument with his little sister, he just sits down at a drum set and starts cranking out some sick beats. Mm-hmm. Like, can we just pick... No teen boy has that many hobbies that they're actually good at. No. Like, just pick one.
Yeah. Just, like, you could have just said he skateboards.
Yeah. Right? Not in Salem, though. Those cobble... That actually would have been really funny to be like, he's like, I hate it here. Back home, the streets were paved, and here they're just literal cobblestone, and I cannot skateboard.
He's trying to do a kickflip and just eats dog shit.
The thing about, like, the introductory scene that did not, like, rub me the right way was it's, like, a high school classroom, and the teacher is, you know, in full witch outfit explaining to all the kids.
As one is.
Because it's New England, and it's Halloween, and they're like, okay, we're gonna learn about, you know, not even the Salem witch trials, but just the specific lore about these 3 specific witches. And she's telling the story, and all the kids in this, like, presumably, like, high school classroom are, like, super into it. Yeah. And they're, like, and at the end, when Max is like, I'm gonna speak out against the teacher, and all the kids in the classroom are like, boo, we love Halloween. Yeah. Never in a high school classroom would the entire class of kids, like, rally on the side of the teacher.
No.
Be like, we love this lesson plan. Or, like, a town that's known for something, like, kind of hyper-specific that the teen kids really like at. No. I bet you teenagers who live in Salem fucking hate that shit.
It's probably exhausting.
They probably hate that.
Like, I could imagine, like, we have this thing around where we live, where it's called, like, Flea Week.
Flea market.
Yeah, we have a flea market. It's like the Brimfield flea market. If any of you bitches know it, because it's popped off on TikTok now, and all the young people come and makes the crowd even worse.
One time, the Olsen twins were here, like, filming a TV show, and I remember everyone in the town was flipping the fuck out. They're like, the Olsen twins are here for the flea market. Literally, it's people, like, trying to sell you a rusty spoon for $40. Like, it's sick.
But, like, every time, it happens, like, 3 times, like, a summer, basically, and it's a nightmare when Flea Week rolls around, because, like, all, like, 2 towns are just backed up full
of traffic
people. Traffic is horrible. You can't get your coffee in the morning.
And, like, no offense to the kind of people who would travel out of state to go to a flea market, because
it's fun. Like, I would say it's like a do it once kind of thing.
But the kind of people who consistently flood the town for antiques are the most dog shit kind of person. Like, we call them fleas.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, the fleas are here this week because they stay at the hotels, they do not tip at the restaurants, they are rude, they are entitled, and they're the kind of people who are trying to sell their fucking doll arms, their severed doll arms for like $93, and I'm like, go fuck yourself.
But, like, we have that, like, it's probably like 3 weeks plus, like, some change from like people coming in and out,
and people who live here fucking hate it.
People who live here fucking hate it. I could not imagine what it is like living in Salem around this time,
or like Gettysburg. Like, if you live near like colonial Gettysburg or whatever, just like anywhere in America that has like this point of history is the entire focal point of our town. Yeah, you know, like,
which we do have one of those.
Yeah, we have one of those too. I think in New England you kind of get that a little bit everywhere.
Yeah,
but
it's like every 10 towns has something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, the way that these high school kids are like so ready to rally on the side of the teacher because they love Halloween. I'm like,
it has to be exhausting.
You would be bullying the shit out of this teacher for wearing a witch costume.
Right? Their mom probably owns one of those witch shops or whatever, and they have to help out on Saturdays.
Yeah. Selling the, what is that thing where people like sage their house?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably pissed. You're exhausted. You don't want any of this smoke at this point. No. So, I do not think that was, accurate teen representation. Like, you're full of hate for your town when you're growing up.
So I was like, I feel like they all would be like, yeah, that kid's right. But also to bully the new kid is also, I guess,
classic.
Like a trope.
Which the bullies in this movie, tell me why the blonde one, I was just like, that's James Franco. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the vibes of the face. Low-key. And when he left them to die, I was like, true, fair. If somebody stole my shoes and then I found them locked up in a witch's hut, I'd be like, bye, bitches.
Yeah, however, I don't blame them for bullying him.
Yeah, he's an easy target.
I wasn't mad.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's kind of a dickhead.
Also, I wanted more of Ice. The kid who had his nickname.
Tell me that relationship between Ice and the other one was not homoerotic
as fuck. They explored each other's bodies in those cages.
100%. 100%.
But speaking of exploring someone's body, do we want to get into our regularly scheduled programming?
Absolutely.
So I feel like it has to be Fuck, Marry, Kill of the three sisters. The three witches.
Okay. I'm gonna marry Mary. I'm gonna fuck Sarah because obviously she's slick as a seal. Yeah. And then I'm gonna kill Winifred because she's too mean for me.
See, I feel like I'm gonna marry Winifred because
you think
she's got the sauce. She's the only one of the three of them who knows what's what, and she's juiced up, and she's got a plan. She's a woman with a plan.
That's true.
And then I'm gonna kill Kathy Najimy.
Dang!
Even though she's sniffing stuff out,
I feel like her and I could have a good time.
And
she seems like the most like level-headed.
Yeah.
Well, not level-headed.
Well, she's also an idiot. Her and SJP are both playing the like dumb sister role. Like they're both stupid.
Yeah, but I kind of rock with that.
And then obviously I'm gonna fuck SJP on the broomstick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hot. Yeah, a little wraparound.
She's already fully leaned forward. Like, I don't even have to do anything. Exactly. That broomstick is doing all the work. And then, do we want to do anyone else? Just like the parents?
Really.
I don't give a shit about the parents.
I don't care.
And so then you're hosting a little party. Mm-hmm. What are you going to eat and drink?
Okay. It's tough not to just say, like, you know, the classic, like, apple cider drink or whatever, but I think you kind of go... I always find that, like, almond or, like, nutty kind of flavors are also very fall-esque. But I think you do a peach amaretto sour.
Oh,
right?
okay.
You little peach puree in there, amaretto, some lime. Just, like, kind of... It's still sweet, but nothing crazy. And it's not, like, totally that, like, classic, like, fall... like apple flavor or like, you know, cinnamon. Come on. We're better than that. There's more. There's more out there. But for my food, I was really trying hard to figure something out. I was like, okay, let me find a touch point. The song they sing slaps. Yep. You know what other song slaps for Halloween? Monster Mash. Monster Mash, mashed potatoes. You do like a loaded mashed potato kind of thing. You could get real fancy with it where you kind of like gut the potato and you make a mashed potato.
A twice-baked potato.
Yeah, like do like a twice-baked potato and like loaded. I feel like that's like hearty and like very like comfort food and very like I want a loaded baked potato in the fall. Maybe that's just me growing up near the Big E. But, yeah. The
baked potatoes at the Big E, I'll say it, fucking suck. They're stupid. People wait in line for 3 hours, and they put bacon bits on them. Not even real bacon.
It's true.
Fucking the kind that don't even have to be refrigerated.
Yeah, the soy kind.
Because it's not even, there's no meat in there. It's just
soy.
salt. It's
soy.
Salt.
If you're a vegetarian, you can have those.
stupid. You're about to tell me that you love the baked potato from the Big E.
I liked them. I haven't been to the Big E in like years, so I couldn't say.
It just means you've never actually had a good baked potato.
It's true. Maybe I feel like today is the day, though. I'm gonna go home and make like a bomb-ass baked potato. Yeah.
I definitely recommend gutting the inside, making some sort of like mix the sour cream in with it, and then put it back in and put it back in the oven.
Yeah.
Definitely some shit like that. Yeah, that also like hearty food at the beginning of fall. You know, the temperature just dropped, the leaves are turning. So my answer is super lame and super stereotypical.
Please.
But I think that's okay.
I mean, if you're gonna do it for a movie, you might as well do it for this movie.
Yeah. But I was just thinking really hard about the Ice Spice Munchkins drink from Dunkin', which is a new seasonal drink.
Of course.
And if you live near a Dunkin', and if you're on Twitter, you know about this Ice Spice Munchkin drink. And it's basically, it doesn't have any coffee in it, and it's just like a handful of pumpkin munchkins blended with every kind of sugar syrup they have. So yeah, if you can see,
they blend the munchkins.
Yeah, so if you can see the breakdown of like what they tell the employees like goes into the drink. It's basically like 4 pumpkin munchkins with ice, and then they put in like a pump of pumpkin, a pump of caramel, a pump of just liquid sugar, and then they just blend it with no other liquid. So I do not understand how this can be something that can physically be sucked through a straw.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And there's no coffee in it.
Has anyone had it?
So I don't know. And I'm scared for my life because I think one sip of this will give me diabetes because it's like 1,800 calories for like the normal size.
Maybe if you want to see on the Patreon, Dara and I try the Ice Spice drink.
Absolutely. I think one sip of that would send me into cardiac arrest. And I eat a lot of sugar. Like I am not mindful of my diet, and that fucking scares me.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
I think the concept, though, of the Ice Spice Munchkin drink has some good ground to stand on.
Okay.
And I do think that you could do like either like a coffee or like a hot apple cider based like hot booze drink. So you could do like spiced rum with like a hot apple cider, do like not like a hot toddy. I don't really fuck with like putting whiskey in it, but like a spiced rum, and then you could do like a pumpkin donut, and I think you can just dip your pumpkin donut into your drink. Like I don't think it needs to be fully integrated. Like I feel like the Ice Spice, if I was a Dunkin's exec, it would just be a pumpkin iced latte, maybe with an excessive amount of sugar, with just then the pumpkin donut, which I guess it needs to be a munchkin because that's Ice Spice's whole thing. Yeah. So I guess that doesn't really work. But like the pumpkin donut just like around like where the straw should be. Yeah. So you just get it sort of as one. But I guess it does need to be munchkin. So I don't really know about all that. But I do think like an apple cider donut with like a hot spiced drink, and you can sort of dunk your little donut into it. But then also additionally, just the sort of food I want to eat at the beginning of fall is like a stew. Yeah. And they're like doing their whole witch's brew thing. So just like a thick beef stew, just a hearty, you got the potatoes, onions, carrots, just your classic.
The full baby carrots.
Just some fucking beef stew, bro. Made by a guy named Thad.
I bet Thad would fuck up a beef stew.
For sure. And then what are you following this up with? I think you should watch The Crucible.
Nice. I kind of went the same route, and you go back to like not actual, but you know, like more realistic puritanical times, and you watch The Witch.
The Vavitch. Which we did an episode on that. I don't think it's on our feed, but we were a guest on...
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah, we were a guest on a great podcast called Scopophilia, and maybe I'll link that in the description below. It was from like a year ago or like 2 years ago. We were...
No, I think that is on our feed.
What were we on their show about then? Oh, The Favorite.
The Favorite, yeah.
Yeah, so
it is on our feed.
Yeah. So they were a guest on ours, which was really great. So yeah, go back and listen to our episode on the Vavitch.
I love being that annoying person.
The bitch. If you're gonna stylize your title, I'm gonna be a bitch and I'm gonna say it like you spelt it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anya Taylor-Joy.
I can't help it.
That's a good one, though. I like that movie.
Yeah.
Would thou like to live deliciously?
Yeah, like, and it's a creepy ass movie.
Mm-hmm. Goats, another animal I do not fuck with.
There's nothing behind their eyes, which
little
is
slits.
horrifying. Yeah.
And then what are you gonna give this out of 10? I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna watch it again, but if it was on, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I can get people's fucking references, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand the hype. I know that there's a second one that came
out last year.
Last year that had 3 drag queens in it that I like, that are all
Really?
from Drag Race. Yeah, they played the drag versions of the 3 sisters.
Love that.
I didn't see it or anything about it, but I just
no
liked
idea.
that they were in it. I saw like some behind the scenes stuff of them being in it. And I know that there's a third one like in production or whatever, but I'm like, we do not need all this.
Yeah. SJP's just trying to get her bag.
True.
Yeah.
Too much. Mm-hmm. What's the Sex and the City sequel called?
And Just Like That.
And I was just gonna say, here we go again.
Basically. I mean, it might as well be.
But thank you all for listening. Welcome to Halloween month. Welcome to fall. Get your spookiness on. As always, every year, like I say, please tell me what your plans are for your Halloween costumes. If you have any good ones from your past that you want to share. I love seeing people's like silly, funny, creative Halloween outfits.
Yeah.
So definitely send us those. And send us if you have suggestions, but also just like month themes in general, chocolate or vanillas, all that good stuff. We love to hear from you. And we have a Patreon if you want to see our faces, if you want to see my cats like casually walk behind us every once in a while this episode. Really get that vibe, get that Thackeray Banks vibe.
If you want to have a parasocial relationship with us.
If you want to see us sip our coffee, you can also have your coffee. It'll just be like we're hanging out. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. This can be like the thing you eat, like your meal watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you take an hour and a half to eat, which I do that. I need to put on a podcast to eat because it takes me an hour. I'm a really slow eater.
That's probably good for your digestive system, though.
I guess. Mm-hmm. Or it's just like I just never stop.
Or there's
yeah. But yeah, there's a Patreon. It's like $2.86 if you want to run that. And thank you all for listening. We love you, and goodbye and good night.